Welcome back to the Makeshift Project podcast. This is podcast number 125. We are joined today with a very special guest. He is a 7-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA scoring champion, Hall of Fame inductee, and our partner Mike Venezia's favorite NBA player of all time, TRACY MCGRADY.
Pretty crazy. I had to break this out just to show you. First ever jersey. Got this in 2001. This is such a full circle moment, man. I appreciate you coming on the pod.
That's real.
Dude, what size is that jersey?
Kid small.
Yeah, man. That's great.
Really
He tried putting on the other day and it almost tore apart. So it was a little sensitive, little delicate, but it survived to the podcast.
How old when you got that?
I got that when I was 4.
Wow.
So you joined Orlando in 2000, right? Yeah, I got that in 01.
We're going to have like a trivia section with just Mike and TMAC'S stats and facts. So obviously we're here for a reason, right? We have the 1v1 tournament. We got OBL. You created a new basketball league called the Ones Basketball League, OBL for short. Tell me what your idea with that was. So when you started it, what your vision was and kind of how it came about.
So back in 2022, that's when I realized my boys are not watching, a full NBA game. They're not watching college basketball. But when I would kind of come home sometimes, I would look on the TV and there would be YouTube on, but it'd be these guys playing pickup basketball, right? And these guys were touring from city to city. So I'll sit down and watch with them and see, what all the fuss is about. So they would play 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, but what caught my attention is, as always, in competition, 2 guys get to join back and forth, and everybody moves the hell out of the way, and these guys start playing one-on-one basketball. And when they transition to one-on-one, the energy shift around the court. So I was like, one-on-one is where it's at. Because at that time, I have an AAU program, as you can see. I have a full court basketball. So I have an AAU program, and my kids, they call it King of the Court. They love to play that after practice. So I listened to the kids, man. I listened to the kids, and I just decided there's a lot of untapped talent out here, right? In the NBA, there's only 450 players, and there's thousands of kids that's leaving college every single year looking for somewhere to play. Everyone doesn't want to go and play overseas, right? So if you could create a platform that's tailor-made to guys' game, right? Because in 5-on-5, it may not be conducive to who you are as a basketball player because you have a role to play, right? But one-on-one, you can be yourself and you can explore and really, just tap into your natural ability as a basketball player. And I just felt like a platform needed to be made for those type of players.
I love it. And I heard, I think this was a quote from you. You wanted to create the UFC of basketball. So kind of that setting where it's 1v1, it's man versus man, just kind of, battling at it.
And even more so deeper than that, because, when you talk about one-on-one basketball and you don't include NBA players, so investors or, consumers will be like, well, who are these players? All right, so you're a UFC fan, right? Where the hell did these fighters come from? What is their background? What college did they go to? Like, we don't know nothing because they are stars. 1, because of the platform that they're on, but 2, they have a unique ability to go out and whoop people, right? That's what we love to see. But the platform is what makes these guys a star. So I'm creating that platform to build it up like, the UFC, and do some storytelling with these players because you should know who they are.
That was my question. So since you said that you want to make it the UFC, do you want to in the future potentially get not like the weigh-ins, but the press conferences before and have 2-player talk it out?
That builds the energy up,
100%.
Right? That builds the energy for a match to come. That's why we love the UFC, because those guys trash talk to really build up that momentum before the fight.
100%. That's the whole reason why the UFC is so successful, because the story's behind the players.
For sure.
Or behind the fighters,
For sure. And that's what, OBL is trying to do, is do storytelling, but also keep the raw and authentic game itself and don't turn it into a gimmick, because when, UFC started out, it was a gimmick. You would have maybe a 5'6" small guy trying to fight someone that's 300 pounds, right? We didn't want to see that.
No one does.
Right, just like you don't want to see Shaq going up against somebody like a Nate Robinson. We don't want to see that, right? So I think, identifying the rules, what we identified in OBL, to make it easy on the eyes of the consumers to really sit down and watch one-on-one basketball.
And to like feed off of that, I think the OBL does a great job of identifying talent across the country, right? People really can utilize this platform. Could you ever see yourself sort of importing NBA players into this tournament, or the sole purpose is to really find that undiscovered talent?
Well, I'm sure you guys are online and y'all see all the trash talking that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
NBA players,
Yeah,
right?
It's a lot.
So, no, what's funny, I caught wind of it, and I immediately reached out to Ty Lawson. Immediately online, OBL platform. So I got in contact. I got in contact with Ty Lawson, and one of my buddies that's in New York that played college basketball and has a real good following amongst that group of guys. We went live, and I had Ty come on the live and say, he wanted to participate on that. So, you got Brandon Jennings, you got Lou Will. I seen him throw Isaiah Thomas' name out there.
Yeah, he'd be perfect.
Yeah, Tariq Evans. Listen, Lance Stevenson. Like, we have some guys from the NBA family that will put on an amazing one-on-one basketball show, and it can't be on no other platform but OBL. Like, come on, guys. It has to be on OBL platform.
So that being said, I mean, those are retired players, right? Some players towards the tail end of their careers. Who do you think the greatest one-on-one basketball player of all time is?
It's hard to decipher that, man, because, if you look at LeBron, right? I think LeBron has been amazing for 22 freaking years, and he's been the best basketball player for, God knows how long. But if you put him in one-on-one, I think he'll get crushed.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I think he'll get crushed amongst guys that are actually in NBA, and I'm sure LeBron will tell you that because his game is naturally built for 5-on-5. He's not a one-on-one basketball player. Kobe is a one-on-one basketball player. Kyrie is a one-on-one basketball player. James Harden, these guys are one-on-one basketball players, and LeBron can't do anything with that. So I don't know. I just know, we always name the big name guys, but there's some guys out there that you don't think about that really can play one-on-one basketball.
I believe it. The attractive names are Kyrie Irving, James Harden right now.
Right.
But I'm sure there's tons of guys.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you this because this was huge on social media this week about Brian Scalabrine. Have you seen the Brian Scalabrine one-on-one?
Yeah.
So Brian Scalabrine and George the Messiah, he said that he could beat Brian Scalabrine one-on-one in basketball. Brian Scalabrine showed up to the park. He beat him 11-0.
Smashed him.
Smoked him.
Smashed him.
So
I don't know. No one was officiating it. It looked a little dirty.
Well, the reason why is because George the Messiah in the beginning said there's no fouls.
He plays nasty. He's a dirty player, right? He's a dirty player. But the misconception is, you have people online talking so much trash about the 10th and 11th and 12th guy on the NBA roster. They will bust.
Yeah, that was my question. I wanted to say
100%. They will bust your.
Mike was saying before, he said if he ran 1v1 against you right now, I think weren't you telling me that?
I try to kind of mirror the jab that you used to have in the league, but I think your length would sort of pose problems for me. But
I buy that. I buy that. I'm 45. I don't want no smoke.
But yeah, just to feed off of that though, I've noticed, I think Alex Caruso talked about this, basically saying how many players can you add to a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament that can elevate them to a national title? I think he said around 27, 30 guys, but like you just mentioned, you have guys all the way at the end of the bench that are significantly better than the field. So if you had to give a number
of NBA players
that you can add to a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament.
He only said 26?
He said 27.
Yeah, he said 27.
And I think he was being conservative because he wanted to say more.
Yeah, it's 450 players and only 27? No chance. The number is way higher than that.
Do you think like half the league?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's kind of what I was saying.
Are we talking based off of who they are right now, this present time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like present Giannis on Alabama State. Are you kidding me?
I think he would be considered in the 27 that he was listing.
But you know what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah, but
there's many others out there.
It's more guys. I mean, I would take a guy like Norman Powell. No one would ever mention someone like Norman Powell, right?
Most
he
improved.
Would definitely go and change somebody's team.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. It's more than 27.
So I wanted to ask you a question about the Brian Scalabrine thing. How far is the gap between the worst NBA player and the best non-NBA player?
It depends, man, because I will never disrespect the field.
Yeah.
Because it's the draw of luck to be in the NBA with some of these guys.
That's totally
Some
fair.
of these guys don't deserve to be in the NBA. I'm just be honest with you.
Okay, yeah, fair.
And there's some guys that's in the field that deserve to be in the NBA.
Yes.
It's based off relationships. So I would never disrespect the field. There's some guys in the field that'll bust, some of those guys in the NBA. I'm just
I
gonna
can
keep
believe
it
that.
100 with you.
I could definitely believe that.
Well, relating to that, so in your prime, right? You said you don't want the smoke now, but maybe in your prime, you're taking on anyone. I'm assuming. Do you think any non-NBA player on the planet could beat you one-on-one in your prime?
No.
Okay, I
No,
feel like
not
you
me.
might say any NBA player one-on-one, you'll take him.
Not in the field. No, because I felt like in my prime, I felt like I was best in the world.
And
so
I think that you were definitely there. There's no argument there.
I felt like I was the best in the world, regardless of what, team success. I mean, individually, yeah, I felt like I was one of the best.
100%. You mentioned Kobe, and Kobe famously said that you were his toughest opponent to guard in the NBA. I wanted to ask you, who was the toughest opponent you ever had to guard in the NBA?
Kobe.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, you talk about a man with over 30-something thousand points and, just naturally has the green light and the killer mentality and killer instinct. Like, some guys that, are the leading scorers for their team, you kind of take possessions off with them. You can't take no possessions off when you guard Kobe.
I can believe that.
Right? So I naturally have to say Kobe.
Who would be a close second, or who would be a second?
Melo.
Melo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Melo.
there you go. Next.
Yeah, Melo.
Okay, sure.
Melo will be a close second because of Melo is one of us, man. Melo doesn't need a lot of dribbles to get his game off, to get his shot off. I mean, he has a deceiving quickness with him, very explosive. He's physical. So you definitely have to add Melo up there.
And he's one of those one-on-one guys that could ball out in this type of league too.
For sure.
And in today's NBA, if you were playing right now, who would be your toughest guard?
In today's league?
Yeah.
Probably have to say somebody like Giannis, because I guarded, all the way to power forward. So Giannis would probably be that guy. I would have to disrespect Giannis and just back up, because if I give him any driving lanes, being 7 foot, it's a problem. So I have to give him some space and let him, show me he can consistently knock down a mid-range.
Yeah. No, fair. I mean, if he could hit the jumper and respect it, people come up, then he's unstoppable. But
I feel like KD would be a good one too.
KD at 36, 37 years old, not so much a 36, 37-year-old KD.
Okay.
Younger version of KD, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you were drafted 9th overall in the 1997 NBA draft class. We were born in 1997. I don't want.
We're not trying to make you.
Not to make you feel old or anything.
Thanks for having us and inviting us here. We're happy to be here. Don't get me wrong.
We wanted to ask you a little trivia question about your draft class. So you were drafted 9th overall. Can you name all 8 NBA? No. You can't name all 8? You can't do it? Can you name any of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can name probably over half of them.
Okay.
And not in any particular order. Obviously, I'll get the first one right. It was Tim Duncan.
Yep.
Right.
Drafted to the Spurs.
I would get Chauncey Billups was in there.
Okay. He was 3rd to the Celtics.
Keith Van Horn, I know he was 2nd, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a problem at Utah.
Nets legend.
Nets legend. But he was drafted to the Sixers.
Yeah.
He was so good.
Really?
Yeah. He was really good. He was really good.
He's one of those guys that not many people talk about anymore.
He was really good. Especially college, man. He's one of the best, probably one of the best college players you would have seen at his size, yes, for sure.
Well, that's 1, 2, 3 right there.
I feel like those were the givens.
Antonio Daniels.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Yeah.
You had no
You're
faith
cooking
before.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas. I think that's 7, right?
That's 7th overall.
The
He went to
Nets
the
took
Nets.
him that year, right?
And
I
Nets,
got all of them. I think I got all of them.
Yeah, I think you can do it.
I think I have it. Adonal Foyle, because he got drafted before me.
That's big. To the Bucks.
I'm missing one or 2.
You got 2 more.
I have the other one, Ron Mercer.
Yep.
Bang.
That was number 6.
To
Okay.
the Celtics.
Hold on, Tony Battie?
Yeah. Look at that.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
That was a clean sweep.
Tony Battie went Boston?
He went to Boston.
Boston, yeah.
No, he went to the
Denver,
Nuggets.
right?
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh,
He went to Denver.
Okay.
Ron Mercer went to the
went to
Celtics.
Boston.
Okay, yeah.
I think you were playing a little low key there.
Man. Once I started reading off the names, then it started coming back to me.
Do you ever think that the Celtics kick themselves for not picking you? They had 2 opportunities before you got drafted. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Man, what that would have been like, right?
What do you think the deciding factor was for you to skip college and go straight to the NBA? Because obviously you can't do that anymore with the 1-year rule. Kind of what was the factor in your head when you were making that decision?
Well, I think it's a number of factors. When you look at from 1995, the first one to bring it back, entering high school to the pros was KG, right, in 95. And then 96, here comes Kobe, here comes Jermaine O'Neal and these guys. And I'm like, oh. So leading up to that, 95, 96, I'm really an unknown player at this time in high school. Summer of 96, I go to the Adidas camp, and we all know, Lamar Odom and Chris Burgess are the top high school players at that time. I'm unknown. I go to this camp and become, a player that stands out at this camp, and eventually go on to be the #1 player in the country in my senior year of high school. So Kentucky and Florida State is right in front of me. I go take my visit to Kentucky. I'm in love. Right? I'm like, yo, this is where I'm going to school. I'm going to Kentucky.
I can see the jersey. I can see it.
I was like, I took a visit to Florida State, but when I went to Kentucky, I was like, this is my home. This is my home. This is where I'm going. I go back to high school, and I'm having conversations with my high school coach and with Sonny Vaccaro, and they're having conversations with Adidas. Adidas comes to the table and offers me more money than they offer Kobe Bryant. What are you going to do?
No, that's fair.
Going to the NBA.
You going to UK, going to class? Or are you going to take this?
For 1 year, you know what I mean? It's like at that point.
So I just felt like, man, I played against NBA players. I feel like I'm ready. I see what Kobe is doing. I see what KG is doing. I feel like I'm just as talented. Let's go for it. Let's shoot for it. Because eventually, this is where I want to play anyway.
Mm-hmm,
right?
100%.
So why not?
Yeah. It's not like I wouldn't call it a shortcut, but it's believing in yourself to go to the league and actually prove yourself and, maintain yourself.
For sure.
There, so.
And there was some, bumpy times in my rookie season where I felt like, damn, I should have went to school and watch it. I'm telling you the #1 reason where I felt like I really wish I would have went to school is actually right now, because I love March Madness. I was just tuned in. That's why I'm kind of late coming in. Dude, I'm locked in. I got like 6 games. I have like 4 in one box. I got 1 here and 1 there, and I'm locked in. It's every March for me. But and then in locker rooms, these guys are rooting for their schools, their alma maters, and I'm like, I just got to adopt UK. So I've been a UK fan ever since I entered the NBA.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to go with UK.
For sure.
So if the college rules were how they were now and you could take that Adidas money and go to UK, would you?
I'm going to school.
Yeah. You're going for 1, 2 years, whatever.
The other day with someone, I would have been at UK. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Spent like 1 year there. Was it one? Is it 1 year max?
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. Right?
No.
Yeah?
No, I probably would have milked it.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah, why not? Go to school and make like $2 million. Man, I'm coming
With the
back.
NIL now? I think AJ DeBance, got $7 million from BYU or something?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Okay.
Stay there 4 years.
That does sound pretty good.
If I'm getting that type of money in college and I can get that every year that I'm eligible, I'm coming back to get that. And then I'm going to the NBA. Like, for what?
I don't blame you.
The more I'm here, the more the money is going to go up in the NBA anyway.
That's true. And I'm sure you'd be making more than $2 million in NIL now. I'm sure you'd be making more than that.
For sure.
I think it's, here's my bad transition. It feels like you know yourself, right? So we want to play a game with you on how well you know yourself.
Bet.
Okay. How well does TRACY MCGRADY know TRACY MCGRADY? Which 3 teams have you scored over 50 points in a single game against?
3 teams? It's only 2. Oh, that I scored against.
Against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Denver is one of them. I scored 50 against them.
51. We'll give it to you,
In
though.
Denver. And I scored 50, I think, against Washington twice.
Yeah, so that's one team.
And then I scored 50 against the Bulls.
Yes. Nailed all 3.
Back-to-back clean sweeps. This guy knows himself.
You actually scored 60 against Washington one time.
Yeah, 60.
62.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right. How many points did you score in your first ever NBA start?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I went deep for these questions. I went deep.
Wow.
I
I've never been asked that. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. I don't know.
I'll give you
Do you want the team you played against?
Even if you tell me the team, because I mean, that's going back 26 years, bro. 27 years.
Well, let's see how well you know yourself. Do you know what team you played against or no?
My first start?
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay. Well, it's the Toronto Raptors.
No. I played for Toronto.
Well, he scored 10 points.
Yeah, his first start was because he was with Toronto.
I was
when he
with
got drafted.
Toronto.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
All
what
right.
I. Yeah,
So
That was a
it
typo.
so was the team.
I don't remember. But yeah, 10 points.
Sometimes we do our prep. Sometimes we make some typos and write down. I thought it looked funny,
I should have
but
pointed that out.
Damn.
My bad.
it's okay.
So y'all asked me a question. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah. We did score 10 points.
Yeah, but against who though? That
great
was,
question.
That was a question.
We got
I
our
knew I was
analytics
on
guy?
Toronto.
Can we get our analytics guy?
We'll come back to it.
I knew I was on Toronto, but I didn't know who
We'll
I
come
scored
back.
10 points,
against.
3 rebounds, 2 assists. I don't know against who. Mike's going to find out
Pretty
shortly.
damn good game,
He'll
though.
report back.
For a first NBA start, 10 points, pretty damn good.
Against the Timberwolves.
What year?
1997.
That was my rookie year.
Your rookie year.
Yeah.
So your first NBA start, we weren't even born yet.
What? Stop.
You're just
That's
double
wild.
downing
Just
on
bring
us,
it
Mike.
back up.
You just keep feeding into it. This
It's
is your
crazy to
favorite
think
player
about.
here.
No, I know. 'Cause we grew up and looked up to this guy, man. This is crazy. You know what I mean?
They steady coming in, the Grays. As you talk. They're coming. I feel them.
All right, next one. You won the NBA Most Improved Player of the Year award in 2001. Who was the runner-up?
I honestly don't know.
He was a shooter, international player.
Oh, Ginobili.
No. That's a good guess, though. I like that. I think he played for the Hornets.
Peja?
Peja Stojakovic.
He was good, man.
He was good.
Yeah, he was. I hated guarding him too. That's like, I mean, just I would say like a little version of Steph, because he was like this right here.
Wow.
Yeah, he moved so much off of screens and shoot the hell out of the ball.
When I first started playing 2K, and we used to play 2K games, we've known each other since first grade. Peja was a great player to play with, and the Hornets and the 2K8, I think it was. Fun team. Tyson Chandler, Chris Paul, David West.
They were good. Then they moved to New Orleans. Hold on, you guys been knowing each other since first grade?
First
We were in
grade.
the same first grade class, all three of us.
Played varsity basketball together, so
Y'all were-
kind of circle moment.
Y'all-
Our senior year, what were we, like 6 over 500?
We were 14-5. We
Y'all
lost
made
our
the
last
playoffs?
3 games.
Yeah, we played well. We did
We lost
pretty
in the
well.
first round of
We got a
state
bad
semis.
draw. We had a first round bye, but the team that we played, they started the year slow, so they came in as the 10 seed, but they were easily a top 3
They
team
won the
in
whole
league.
thing. They ran through our whole conference.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't complain about that then. Yeah.
We're making
Still,
excuses.
you know,
We're making
it's a tough way to go
excuses.
out.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
okay.
Y'all did well.
All right, we got one more question for you about how well you know yourself. You might have to help me with pronunciation here. What was your career high when you played for the Qingdao Eagles in China?
Qingdao Eagles.
Qingdao Eagles in China.
What was what?
Career high.
Was it 44?
Ooh, close. We'll give you one more guess, a little less.
42.
42. 41.
41.
Oh, man. 41.
So,
We went
you
deep
were
for
within
these
3
questions.
points. Yeah, I was a little deep. I don't blame you.
You know what? I was trying to find the second highest scorer on your high school basketball team, but that was too deep for me to find. But do you know who it would be?
Depending on what year, because my senior year, I had like 91 players on that team.
What?
Yeah. On my high school team, we were number 2 in the country.
You had 90?
I had like 8 or 9 D1 players on it.
Oh. I thought you said you had 91
91.
players on that
Oh,
team.
no.
I was like,
D1.
that makes a lot more sense.
I was trying to do the math. I was like, I don't know how
We
everyone's
thought
getting
the same
minutes. I
thing.
don't
Yes.
know.
What are you playing 1 minute each?
But,
What the?
But yeah, so
going on here?
We're
never
not the quickest in the world, always.
But yeah, just to transition, life outside of basketball. Saw back in December, your cousin Vince, Josie Altidore, you're part of a minority ownership group for the Buffalo Bills. Tell us about how that came about, how you got involved, and are you a Bills fan now?
I guess you have to be.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta be, right?
Forced to be a Bills fan for sure, but rightfully so. So I've always, since I've entered the NBA, I've always wanted to have some ownership in a professional sports league, whether it's NFL, NBA, or the Major League Baseball. I always want to have some stake in one of those leagues. I had a friend that had a friend do some consulting work with the NFL, and he got wind that I was, wanting to be a part of that. And so initially, I reached out to him and told him what I was looking for, and he started doing some research for teams that were opening up the door for limited partners. And he brought me back like 3 teams. I was excited. I was really excited about 2 of them, right? He said the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Were you not excited about the Browns?
Well, not that I wasn't excited. I was excited about any opportunity, but when he,
Sorry, I'm just
You picked it out. You sniped that one.
but
it's tough when they have 14 quarterbacks in the past 14 years.
That was a good educated guess, Zach.
Yeah. I was just figuring that there was one team that wasn't as excited about.
Something about Tim Couch, man. I don't know.
Looking at Cleveland, it's just,
he's like,
it's not in order right now.
Yeah. There was an opportunity there. You could flip it and look for that, but yeah.
But so Atlanta was too far ahead in the process because they already had a team, that was already at the table, and they were too far ahead. Philly, I'm not sure what happened there, but so things kind of went silent for a bit. We came back to the drawing board, and somehow the Bills came into play. And I was like, oh, the border's right there. Toronto's border's right there. And they're trying to up their fan base. They're trying to have their fan base migrate, permeate throughout Canada. So I was like, okay, Toronto's right there. Vince and I have impact in that region. Let me reach out to Vince and see if he has any interest in being an NFL owner. And he was like, hell yeah. So we put it together. They reached out, got back to us, and took a trip to a game. I think they were playing Jacksonville Jaguars. Went and sat in Terry Pagula's, he's the owner, by the way, his office, had a great meeting, great discussion. And I didn't feel like I was talking to an NFL owner. He was so cool, so down to earth. And man, enjoyed our time there. Got back home a few weeks, got the call. They let us in. I was like, what?
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yes,
That's so cool.
You meant to tell me we have some ownership of the Bills? So, man, I was, super ecstatic because I really know, what that means, and I don't take that lightly. The Rooney Rule is in place for a reason. You know what I mean? So with the NFL tapping into allowing, that to open up for diversity and inclusion, it was just, something to cheer about.
Well, the fan expansion is 100% working because I actually have a friend that's in Toronto, and he's like a diehard Bills fan now. He became a huge Bills fan over the past 5 years. He went to the playoffs games. But my question to you is, have you jumped through a table yet?
I knew that question. I was just about to say that, so I knew that was coming. I am going to do that the season coming up.
I'm going to need a video of that. I'm going to need to see proof of that one.
I challenged my whole team that went in with the LPs. I challenged everybody, even the women. It was like, hey, it's tradition. We see it every week. We got to do it. So you're going to have some video of that.
Yeah. We got to see that next
we're looking forward to it.
We got to see that.
I don't know if I'm jumping off a bus.
No, you don't have to do that.
I might have to just, table to table.
That works. That works.
Stay low.
That's fine.
There'll be some sort of pile somewhere to jump off.
Yeah, that definitely works. That's okay with me.
So, NFL ownership, we came up with this game. We've done this before, actually, Mike. You remember this. We did this in our first ever podcast. So we're 125 in. I think you were on like the 3rd podcast. We created an NBA lineup with NFL players.
Yep.
TRACY MCGRADY. Create a dream NBA starting 5 with only NFL players. Point guard through center.
I don't know a lot of guys that can hoop out there in the NFL, but
Let's go based off athleticism. Someone you
that's
could
what I was
think.
about to say. Let's go off of that.
We're going all-time
right.
NFL, right?
So
Yeah, all time. So you could go back too if you want.
Yeah, you could do retired players as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So my point guard would be Deion Sanders.
I love that pick.
My shooting guard, I don't need my shooting guard to be a defender. I need him to do just that, shoot. So who do we have in the NBA that can shoot?
There's a lot of guys that
in the
actually
NFL
played
that can
college
shoot.
ball.
I feel like Tom Brady can shoot.
Wow.
I feel like Tom Brady, I feel like he can shoot the ball. Right?
Is he going to be a spot-up guy?
Yeah, that's what I need. I just need a spot-up guy. I don't need him to be a great defender. So I think Tom Brady can be my two guard. He's 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and I think he can shoot the ball.
I thought you were going to take Eli Manning. You know,
Nah. Going Tom Brady.
Sorry, you got two Giants fans here. So I
think Tom can shoot the rock.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm going to my small forward.
Yep.
All right, my small forward will be, how tall is DK Metcalf?
He's a big boy. That was in my lineup when we drafted.
Yes.
I
He's a
think
big guy.
DK can be my...
He's 6'4", but he's got some muscle on him.
Oh, no, my fault.
He's changing.
My fault. My fault.
This better be good now.
My fault. Take out Deion Sanders and take out Tom Brady. My two guards, my bad. My bad.
Oh my God, I can't wait to
My
hear this.
bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
I have no idea what you're going to say
My
right
two guards. What's my guy name that's quarterbacking for Atlanta right now? Lefty.
Michael Penix.
Michael
Penix.
Really?
Oh.
What?
I haven't seen him hoop.
Go pull up Michael Penix.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Go pull up his high school.
I like Michael Penix.
He's a Florida boy. That's why I know he's from
Okay.
Tampa.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He's 6'2".
Right?
a good point guard.
So Michael Penix, and my second one is from the Bills, bro. Our rookie we had, the receiver, played at Florida State.
Keon Coleman.
Keon
Coleman.
Okay.
Pull
a
up
dog.
his highlights.
This is fun.
Those are my two guards right there.
This
right?
is fun. I like
He's
that.
6'3". Okay,
Those
that
are my
checks
two
out.
guards.
It's a modern day team. I like it. I like it a lot.
But I think DK could be my three man.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah, so DK would be my three man.
Big body.
I'm going with Myles Garrett as my four guy.
I love that pick.
Four guy. And then my five, I'm going with give me a tight end. Who's a brute tight end? Played with San Diego. What's
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Antonio Gates.
I
He's
like
slept
that.
on now. I don't know why. People don't bring him back up, but that's great.
A lot of people put like Tony Gonzalez in there. Jimmy Graham pooped in college.
We had Jimmy Graham and we did it.
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Didn't he play at Clemson?
Mahomes can hoop. There's a lot of hoopers out
Yeah.
there.
There's a lot of players.
Yeah.
Get him in OBL maybe.
That would be crazy.
There you go, Mike.
Hey, why not?
Now we're thinking.
That would be crazy.
I don't even know if DK can hoop. I just like his athleticism and
I think he played in an All-Star game once. In the Celebrity All-Star
Yeah.
game. I think he did. And he was throwing down.
Clips just surfaced of him in an open run, and the
Okay.
whole topic was, can NFL players play in the NBA?
Okay, all right.
That's what I saw.
Yes.
Yes. And he was killing it.
You know who else was insane? Miles Garrett was insane in the All-Star, in the Celebrity All-Star.
Yeah.
He's an actual good basketball player. But since we're talking about football, we want to ask you something about generic sports. What is the hardest thing you can do in all of sports, in your opinion?
The hardest thing you can do in all of sports.
There's a lot of things like hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
I was
shoot
just about to
par.
say baseball. Hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to do.
Zach played baseball. You probably know from experience it's pretty tough.
You played a little bit baseball too,
I
yeah.
played minor league baseball. I would say hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to do in sports.
I don't think I could hit a ball. If I had 100 tries, I don't think I could hit a fair ball.
Once I got into like the realm of like 80-mile-per-hour fastballs, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start tapping out. I quit after my freshman year. I was like I could pitch. I was a pitcher, but hitting wise, I was like, all right, I'm starting to not see the ball.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
If I put you in an NBA game, all you got to do is stand in the corner and wait for the pass.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
if you chuck him a bunch of shots.
I love this.
Yeah.
All right, so put you in tennis. You can hit the ball, right? It's just hand-eye coordination.
I think
You get
it's
the ball.
tougher
you
than you
might
think,
not
though.
win, but you can hit the ball.
Yes.
We
Right?
had Marty
Soccer.
Bush return from Barstool.
I did see
Returned, I think it was Djokovic or
Yeah.
Federer or someone. That he returned the serve and scored a point.
See?
Really?
I'll put you in soccer. I mean, there's only one. The score might be 1-0, but you
Yeah.
can kick the ball. You
Yeah,
can
I
run up and down.
I think I can
right?
hold my own.
Hockey, you might get but
That's a tough one.
Skating backwards 20 miles an hour. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's
Might get
hard,
laid
man.
out.
Yeah.
Might get laid out.
however, you will get out there and do that, but you're gonna triple think about standing in that box with
I'm
that
sure.
ball coming 100 miles per hour, right?
Yeah.
That's different.
I don't know how much you could pay me to stand in there with Tom
Because
Glavine pitching to me.
tell him, once you hear that,
Yep.
That's going to scare you.
With movement.
With movements.
I'm not doing that.
That sound right there.
I remember one of my last at-bats, I got a two-seamer. It was probably 85 on the inside part of the plate. I didn't even want to swing. I'm afraid. I was like, I can't even take the bat off the shoulder. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'd be crouching at the end of the box and trying to smaller my strike zone.
Pablo Sanchez?
Yeah.
What about lasting around in an MMA fight?
Lasting around? Should just run around the ring.
Just run around.
To be fair,
That's fair.
Yes.
I have
That's
a
great.
question, and this isn't prep, but my friends give me trash for this all the
Oh
time.
no, here it
Yeah,
comes.
you ready? Okay.
Oh boy.
We all played high school ball. How many points can we score in an NBA game?
Say it again.
How many points can we score in an NBA game?
We as in who?
As in Mike, Brian, or myself.
If you put Zach out there or me out there or Mike out there,
Varsity high school caliber, 48 minutes, I get up 20, 25 shots.
Oh, if you get up 25 shots, if you get up 25 shots, I think you can score double digits.
Thank you.
25 shots?
Tracy McGrady just said that.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
25. Hold
Am
on.
I
but
getting
can
up
you
25
shoot,
shots, though?
No, you're not getting up 25 shots. If we hypothetically speaking, if you're getting up 25 shots, I'm going to say you get double
no,
digits.
if you just
but,
put him out there and
but if we just put you out there,
Yeah.
If I'm on your team in your prime, they're doubling you. They're going to
Zero.
fade on and sag off
see
me.
zero.
but that goes back to what we were just discussing. Like, yeah, I trust that if you can shoot,
I'm not the best 3-point shooter. Mid-range, I had it a little bit, down low, but
no,
I
but
could hit a
obviously
jumper.
if you out there on the court, like you've worked on your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have you in the corner, you're going to get shot. So I trust that you can, if I give you 6 shots, wide open shots, I think you can make half of them.
oh, okay.
Run a few
We're going to do some shooting after this podcast, and we're going to see, and you're
Yeah,
going to take
so
back your answers.
hopefully you live up to what I'm saying. 'Cause I don't want to have to come back
No,
on camera and say,
it's
damn,
been-
man, he only hit 1 out of the 6.
It's been a little bit of
been a
time.
rocky start,
We're only
yeah.
playing like twice a month, but I did something fun before
You did
this.
well.
We did.
Brian and I are in the league. We got our championship game on Wednesday.
Yep.
So we took down the
Made it
1
to the
seed
chip.
the other night.
Nice.
It's big. It's big.
A lot
Boys
of
are still
D3
hooping.
kids in the league. It's competitive, but
It's competitive.
we're getting there.
We're
What's
talking
the
to
trophy,
Tracy
like a
McGrady.
golden-
Yeah, it's competitive.
The trophy is like a golden egg or something. But
Might be.
It's an actual trophy, and you get your name engraved on it.
It's from the dollar
It's a pretty
store,
good
probably.
league.
you
Not
going to
from
put
the
it up
dollar
in
store.
your trophy room?
Yeah.
We don't have
was
many
gonna bring it to
trophies.
work or
We don't have many trophies.
Well, that's a start.
I got a 3-point contest championship in like 6th grade. Does that
In
count
rec
for anything?
basketball?
Rec basketball, yeah.
All right. So we want to talk about where you grew up. You grew up in Florida, and you spent a lot of time in Houston, obviously, in Texas. So we want to talk about Florida versus Texas, like your experience in both places. Which state is better in these categories, Florida or Texas? Who has better food?
Florida.
Really?
Florida.
Damn. I feel like Texas is known for its barbecue.
I haven't had great barbecue here.
Really?
Really?
I mean, it's okay. I'm talking about like great barbecue. I haven't had it. Maybe I need to go to the rodeo, which I've never been to, but
We saw a sign
this
driving
weekend.
in here. We saw a rodeo this weekend. We're like, but we're going to be here. And I'd rather be here. See how I saved myself?
sure you want to go to the rodeo.
We can go tonight. We can go tonight.
Watch what you
Here
say.
with me. But no, I would say Florida, man. Yeah.
Damn.
I've only had barbecue here in the airport. So we're going to have to expand that. Maybe we'll go somewhere tonight.
Yeah, you need to expand
Yeah.
that.
I haven't
airport's
been
not
to
good.
Florida since I was 10 months old, so I can't really
That's
give an
crazy to
opinion.
me, too.
What?
Crazy, man.
You haven't been to Florida?
I've been to Texas like 4 times already, and I haven't been to Florida in 27 years.
Which is like everyone from New Jersey, New York area
to
moves
Florida.
down
Moves
to
to
Florida.
Florida.
My parents are there. Like I have so many people there.
I got to get down there. I don't know what's taking so long.
Which state has better sports?
better sports.
I feel like that one's pretty tough.
That is tough
There's a lot of teams in each state, which makes it a little bit.
because the Astros have been kicking butt.
Yeah.
The Rays once a time was kicking some butt. We just won a Super Bowl in Tampa.
The Rockets are on the come up.
The Rockets are on the come up. The Magic had a nice little run with Dwight Howard making it to the finals, but
Heat are pretty steady.
Miami,
Yep.
seven finals appearances.
I love
then
how
you got the Mavs.
you didn't include the Dolphins in there, which I'm a Dolphins fan. It's a little tough. 500 every year. It's a living hell.
I got to go with Florida, man.
Damn, he's sticking
I
to
got to
the
go with
game.
Florida. Yeah, because, I mean, even look at the colleges. Florida State, Miami,
Yeah.
Hurricanes, Florida Gators.
I didn't even think about college.
Yeah, so
That's a big part of it.
I would say Florida.
I feel like Texas versus Florida is a closer matchup than LA versus or California versus New York. Like I feel like those are pretty comparable, but Texas versus Florida is pretty close.
It is pretty close.
Okay, so Florida. Who has better nightlife?
Woo!
Now we're asking the tough questions.
Is I went to Austin. Austin was pretty fun, but then you got Miami, and Miami's like the king of nightlife.
It is the king of nightlife, but Houston today is on fire.
Really? All right, you got to tell us the spots.
I mean, I don't go out, but my brother and my friends are out, and Houston's like the #1 party city.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say Houston.
Well, you got all of Texas, so you could have Dallas, you could have Austin, you could have everything. So
Texas.
Houston's
Okay,
the best,
I'll say
case.
Texas. I'll say Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
What about
2-1.
weather?
They're both hottish.
Now, my tough thing is we went to breakfast this morning before this. It was 74 degrees outside, and the woman said, "Oh, come inside. It's cold." And I was like, "We're from New Jersey." I'm like, "This is not cold."
Nah, let me tell
Like,
you.
I'm happy to be
Let me tell you.
outside.
I'd be on the beach.
I was freezing yesterday.
Yeah.
I was no joke. I was freezing yesterday, bro. When you say best weather, like I've been living here 20 years. Like we experienced snow this year. I've never experienced snow in Florida, right?
They got hit this year, and you guys like don't know what to
But
do
they
down
got
here
hit
when it
up
happens,
north.
right? Yeah,
They got hit up north. I expect it snowed before in Florida up north. Bro, we in the South.
Yeah.
We're in the South of Texas. And we had, 4 inches of snow?
And you guys like didn't know what to do down here,
Didn't
right?
know
It's
what
like
to do.
it's a world emergency.
It's an emergency.
I'll say Texas. Because even up north Texas, like Lubbock, we have some places in Texas where it really gets down snowing a lot. All right, it's not too many places in Florida you can say that. So
Okay. So it's 2-2. I have one more. We didn't prep this, but who has better athletes that were born
Florida.
Oh, there you go.
Florida.
Right away.
There you
Florida.
go. They're the 2 football like powerhouses for athletes that come out of there.
You look on every NFL team, there's a kid from Florida that's probably the most talented and skilled player on that team. He's from Florida.
And you got IMG Academy, right? So you got a lot of great NBA players that come out of there.
All right, we got one more question for you for the podcast portion. It's a heavy hitter. Tracy McGrady, who is the greatest basketball player of all time? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Or you.
I'm tired of this question.
You know what? I figured you asked an NBA player, former NBA player. They're not going to be like super excited to answer it, but like we can't have a podcast with you without asking.
I'm tired of this question, man. I hope we just did this question because what I'm witnessing now, and by any means, this doesn't make him the greatest player to me. But however, what I am witnessing, what my own eyes is watching a 40-year-old man do on the basketball court is the greatest thing I've ever seen in sports.
Yeah.
I would say that. It is the greatest thing my eyes have seen in sports for a 40-year-old guy to do what he's doing at that level and to do that consistently every single night.
It's insane. It seems like he can play till he's 45
For sure.
if we want to. 48 if we
I don't
want
know
to. It's
how he's
crazy.
doing it.
Yeah.
I hope it's the right way.
Yeah. Same.
We just did a video about that.
I hope it's the right way because that'll be devastating to our sport in this league. But my gosh, man, I mean, I'm 45 and I know what it takes to put your body through that, right? Every single day. And he's been doing that for what? His 22nd year?
Year 22.
Yeah. Year 22.
22.
Yep.
And he's been going deep into the playoffs and he's been playing summer,
And he'd been the
Summer
number 1 guy on the
basketball.
team.
Listen, man, I don't care about who's the greatest no more. I really don't. I don't care about it. MJ had a phenomenal career. LeBron has had a phenomenal career. All those guys had freaking phenomenal careers. Like they can be in a room having a discussion with one another and talking trash. That's really that. I mean, the really doesn't matter. Like they all in the same room.
Fair. Very fair.
So we roll you out there at 45 years old. How many points are you scoring in a game?
In today's game, I'm running three-point line. I can shoot. I can hit double digits if I get enough shots.
You said to me that I could also score double digits. I don't know how much that's
Now we're never going to hear the end of it now that you said that. Coming from us, it's different.
Yeah,
But you
I'm
forget
taking
it.
that to my grave.
You were playing with me, though. I was passing you the ball.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. We're excited to watch the OBL this weekend. We're hyped to be here. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Thanks for bringing us out here. It's been a pleasure. Anything else you want to plug besides OBL?
Nah, man. OBL is life right now. It's the platform to be. It's the platform to watch. Stay tuned. We got some great things coming up for it. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. All right,
the pod.
that's a pod.